Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. Happy Black History Month. Every day is Black History Month. I mean, every day is Black History because we make history every day. We can remember the people who came before us, who helped us along the way. I just wanted to say thank you to all our supporters out there. We've been on the air now 10 years, and we're so grateful. We're so grateful for that. I want to bring my guest on. Actually, he was here last week because he has something else to say today, and it's important. Going to bring on Gabriel Prawl. He's president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute here in Seattle and a longshore worker, and been a long-time union worker and all of that. And he's going to talk about what's happening next Monday. Welcome, Gabriel.
Thank you, Mother Harriett. And good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for having me here.
Sure.
One more time
Yes.
to make sure I share the message, because the message is that on the next Monday, on the 19th of February, President Day, we are heading to Olympia to do what we've been doing for over 19 years now. The A. Philip Randolph Institute has organized this African American Lobby Day every year, and the purpose is to bring the African American community to the Capitol so we can lobby under the common issue within our community, and also take the opportunity to educate our participating young people and other community members and leaders that are part of trying to make a difference in our community. So I'm just so happy that we're getting so close to it. And we have a bus leaving from 24th and Jackson. And you got to get there and get on that bus to get there. You got to be there no later than 7:30 to be able to get on the bus. And we also have a sign up. You can contact APRI Seattle so you can sign up to get a spot on the bus because space are moving fast. But we have a big an agenda to bring our elected official, to bring our department heads and our legislator to come and give our community update on the work that they're doing, and also to give our community understanding and an opportunity to know what's going on in the Capitol, what's going on in the government, and also to ask questions on what's best be for the community or for the livelihood of their self and their children.
Right. Well, that's a good thing, and 19 years is a long time and it was going on a little bit. It's been going on now, maybe about 25 years or more, and surely A. Philip Randolph Institute has been bringing this to the community, and we've had lots of people who've been on those buses. Some of those people have passed on now, but we've had lots of people who've been on the bus. I've taken some of my grandkids up there. Of course, they're grown now. Some of them are. I got one in high school and one in middle school, I believe. But so one thing about it is that our presence is always necessary because, as the founder of A. Philip Randolph has said that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and either you're just getting the crumbs off the floor. So. And we've been both of that. We've been on the menu, still on the menu for some people, and we've been eating the crumbs off the floor, off the master's floor for a long time.
You're right. You're right, Harry. Because as you said, we've been going on there for all 20-something years, and we saw what was going on. That's why we had to organize and create something that can make us have a voice and also able to understand what's going on. Because before we was going up there and coming back with nothing, now we are talking to elected officials and leaders, and we finding out where's the investment for the community is coming from, so we can get access to it. And these are the type of things that we try to educate our community, also to make sure we understand people that we elect, that they are doing their work. So next time, when they come for your vote, who is doing the work for you, and you get to make your choice. So that makes a lot.
Well, and that's why it's so necessary. I mean, for get our young people involved, and I know young people always come. I mean, you can count on. I think Kent gonna bring some, and gonna be probably some from over at Dr. Johnson, Reverend Johnson over in Birmingham always does a fine job with his youth over there, and it is getting the youth involved because our kids have been socially engineered to believe something that's not true about themselves. They're upstanding, smart, bright, brilliant young people who come from a long line of people who've stood up, and just to be able to for them to see government and to see how it works. It's a participatory system in America. You have to participate. If you're not participating, then you're not going to be counted. I mean, they might talk to you. I mean, and want your vote, but if you're not there holding people's feet to the fire, and that's what you're talking about. We're going to do. We want them to come and talk to us, present to us what they got. Present to us what's going on. I mean, the money. I mean, there's a lawsuit that's not involved with us, but I'm on that lawsuit suing the state of Washington for not giving us our fair share. I think we got less than a point percent of the resources a few years ago, and Eric Gardner. I mean, we haven't got all the movement that we need to have under this administration, and myself and a few other people was run out of business in the state of Washington. So I call it the Mississippi of the West for doing business. And so we have to continue the press because we do pay taxes.
That's correct, Amada, and you are due process, and there should be some kind of reinvestment into the community for those that are being disenfranchised should have the opportunity to get those to be able to come back in business and get back to where they were, what they lost because of the whole idea of not providing the resources and the benefit that everyone should enjoy as an American citizen.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, we're American citizens. We're some of the old American citizens because we've had citizenship in America ever since the 14th Amendment. The freed in bondage people and all their descendants going forward would be American. That's what it says in the 14th Amendment. And nothing has stopped that. I mean, because that amendment has not been overturned to take our citizenship away from us, and so to be able to teach the young people what they really have. I mean, this is a system that you have to know how to maneuver in it, and you know that it's a maze. I mean, most of the information is hidden somewhere, but it's available. You have to put in the energy to find it, don't you?
And that's the key word right there: access to information.
Right.
And we have to make sure that I just remind me of a past fighter that we just lost, brother Joe Madison. He used to
Oh
always
yes.
say, "Put it where the goat can get it." You make people understand what it is exactly, and give them the information, make sure they can get what they need to get, and not just make them have to search for it.
Well, one of the things I've learned throughout life, I've been here a few decades on the planet, is that he who owns the information owns the power. And without information, you have no power or no way to maneuver yourself to actually get the basics you need. I mean, it's a lot of things that's available to people in this system that sometimes we're locked out of. And so information is powerful. And I know that we're going to have a great day down there. We'll have food. There's always food in the morning. There's snacks. It's going to be lunch and people. We're in person this year. That's what's so important. We're on campus again. It's a lovely
Yes,
place,
yes,
and we own that. It's ours too. I mean, it
yes,
belongs
yes.
to us too. We can walk those halls of government, and we should be able to be there and listen to people and ask questions and we want people to come and bring your family and make sure you tell us again where that bus is because I'm gonna make sure that hey, I'm gonna get up early. Hey, I'm gonna get up early. I don't want to miss the bus.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know your seat is reserved already, Mother.
Oh
So
yes, thank you.
so yes, the 24th we're picking up the bus is leaving on 24th on Jackson. And it'll be heading to Federal Way and probably picking up some more people and then heading to Olympia. Um, One of the things that we want people to do is to also donate to the cause. Donate so we can help in the cause of the buses, cause of feeding people. And you can send donation to APRI Seattle at 5030 First Avenue South, Suite 208, Seattle, Washington, 98134.
You want to give that address again, please?
That's 5030 First Avenue South, Suite 208, Seattle, Washington, 98134.
All right. Well, that's really good, and I'm just excited. I'm always jazzed about going down to campus. I mean, before the last few years, of course, nobody could go down because it was locked down. But I'd always be signing up, and one of my youngest son, I'd always go up to school and pick him up and make sure he wound up being a page down there. My youngest son did. I mean, black people. I mean, our kids can be paged too because we have representatives down there. You got representative from Federal Way. We got a representative from Seattle, from Mill Creek. I mean, so black kids can be a page down there. You get to stay a whole week if you're chosen. You get to be on the floor. I mean, you get to do a lot of things, and you get to learn how the system works. Yeah, so we have to keep that in mind. I don't know if Ms. Taylor, Representative Taylor, has had any pays from Federal Way, but there's a way that they can get there. Although it's a short session right now, so
Yeah,
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works in a short session compared to a longer session, but it's available. I mean, because the more we can find out about it, we don't have to be outside the door. Our ancestors paid the price.
exactly.
For
And
us to
so,
be on the inside of the door, our ancestors paid the price,
exactly.
and that's why I'm always jazzed about history and about what you all are doing. I just think that A. Philip Randolph. I mean, I've grown to have a lot more. I know there was a lot of stuff going on in the 20s with him and Marcus Garvey and other people, but I tell you, these people did do the best they could for us. They
Mhm.
did. They did. They took whatever they had and they didn't take their marbles and go home. They stayed in it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They stayed in it, and that's what you're doing. I mean, I'm really glad to be part of A. Philip Randolph Institute, and you're the president there. And I'm glad that Vanessa is really there and involved with all the programs and stuff like that. And you want to just say a few words about our fine president, Miss Cleola Brown?
Man, Cleola Brown, she's a great leader. She's a mentor, and she's a strong Black woman who's been leading the A. Philip Randolph Institute over 100 plus chapters nationwide. And she's also the women's and civil rights leader from the AFL-CIO. And she has been very instrumental in a lot of things that we see happening today. You don't see on the front line, but she's been really instrumental by having all these workers and community leaders doing the work that A. Philip Randolph clearly started, and we are continuing the work. We don't just do legislative day, but we are doing candidates forum. We are getting out to vote. We are informing the community on the information on the voters, and so people can be very well informed on who they decide to choose as their representative. We are giving out doing turkey drive, and the Thanksgiving we are doing um,
Toys and stuff during Christmas. You do a Christmas
cars during
basket.
Christmas. Yes, and we
That's
are
right.
reaching out. We are working with workers internationally and nationally in the Labor Council, and even outside of the Labor Council. We've been just nonstop all year long doing the work, and that's what Randolph was all about.
Well, that really is, and then I mean, they came from such a stock of people who absolutely believed in lifting as they climb. Bringing people behind, bringing people with you. I mean, and that's what you all have been doing. And there's many more workers that probably need to come and be involved with A. Philip Randolph Institute, because it's a great organization for workers. I've been involved, although I've always been a business owner. I came in as a minister. Because I see, and at the national conference, Seattle, a small chapter, always wins something because I tell you, they doing the work, man. Always
Thank
doing
you,
the work
Mother, and
there.
thank you for being part of APRI, and thank you for the work that you do, because you are also out doing the work, and that's why we connect.
Yeah, that's true. One before I let you go, just talk a little bit about the conferences coming up. I think it's going to be on the West Coast this time. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. It's going to be in Fort Lauderdale,
Oh,
Florida.
it's in Florida. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
is
Back in
Florida
Florida.
this time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be Florida this year, and I can't wait to get there because it's gonna be right around the time when the heat is on in Florida. You're talking about
Yeah.
and all the
Oh
crazy
yeah,
things
yeah. The
going
heat
on.
and the mosquitoes now, because I'm from down
Yeah,
in Florida
yeah,
too. The heat comes with the mosquitoes.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I
I
tell you.
remember the last time we had it there, the mosquito got a good hit on me.
Yeah, I was there in 2008. I haven't been since
Yeah.
then, but I'm looking forward to it going to Florida.
Okay.
But I tell you one thing I know for sure is that this is good work, and I'm going to make sure that I'm on that bus, and if I can bring somebody else, I'll sign them up. But more importantly,
Wonderful.
I just want to get the word out for people to know that this is a worthy organization. If you're a union member, or you was a union member and you're retired, it accepts retired people too. So come on out of retirement and give us some help at April the Randolph Institute. All right, yeah,
Yeah, this is about education. This is about
right.
educating
Education.
the community, educating our Black people, and strengthening us by building something together.
Right. Together. And that's just it. We're better together.
That's
We are
correct.
better together. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. And I look forward. I'll be talking to you before Monday. I mean, be talking to you before then. And thank you so much for the work you do. Gabriel, really appreciate you. All right.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
you and
much,
the work you're doing.
Mother.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
We
You're
can take a
welcome.
break and we'll be right back. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Hey, you listen to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. I love that song. It just goes along with the movement, and the movement has never stopped. I think we kind of like thought we were someplace that maybe we weren't, but the movement hasn't stopped. I mean, life always goes forward, never goes backwards. I was talking to my grandson. I do a check-in every weekend with my grandkids now because it's a lot of despair with young people. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world because they've been bombarded with a lot of stuff too, a lot of information. I grew up with, I didn't have a television, so I just didn't have a phone either. So I didn't have a lot of distractions because I didn't have a phone. I had to go across the street. My neighbors wasn't having me getting a lot of phone calls, so that wasn't happening. But just checking in, and so no, we shall not be moved. We've been here before the Civil War, so we should not be moved. Just going to talk a little bit about history today before I bring my next guest on. And I love history. I do. I love it. I think he who knows history is free because history frees you up. And you don't have to get upset about all these lies people be telling you. It's like Washington State would not be a state today. Canada would have gotten it, or either have been a territory of Oregon had not been for George Washington Bush. He was a settler. He came from the East Coast in the late 1800s. And Oregon had a thing that black people couldn't buy property. So he came to Washington State and bought some property near Chehalis, south of Seattle, going to and before you get to Vancouver, Washington, and he filed papers in the court and was able to get his property from untangled of being part of the Oregon territory because he couldn't buy property. He couldn't own the property there anyway. And so that's how State began with George Washington Bush, a black man. and had been born in bondage. And his father died, and I think they went to Ohio or someplace, and then he made his way here to Washington State. So that's a big piece of history that most people don't know in Washington State. Had not been for George Washington Bush, Oregon would have probably got Washington State, or either Canada wanted it as a territory. And it became a state in 1889. And know why I know that? Because my grandmother was born in 1889. So I know anything that started in the late 1800s just because that's when I talk about my people. So anyway, that's Washington. That's how we got to have Washington State, George Washington Bush. And he's probably being named after George Washington, president, right? I don't know why. But, I mean, that's a little bit part of being patriotic, maybe also way back then. Man, now another pioneer I want to talk about is William Gross. He came from the East Coast too. He was a pioneer. Got to Seattle, and actually was a little businessman. And he didn't know Old Man Yesler, but he found Old Man Yesler's watch, and he returned the watch. And so Mr. Yesler showed him 12 acres of land, and that 12 acres was the beginning of the Central District. Some people call it the CD, the colored district, or the central district. Now it's been gentrified because we didn't know history. If you know your history, you know your greatness. You know that this land always was there, and it was always ours, and we had a right to fight for it. And by the time people woke up to understand that reality, then it was a little too late. Because one thing about life, you have to be a student of history in order to know where you come from, and to know where you're going. In the Washington State Heritage Society has a lot. This is a great compository of Black history. Lots of Black history. My friend Mr. Esther Montfort was instrumental in helping start the African American Black Heritage Society. And I'm really proud of that, because history is what history gives us our strength. Washington State has a lot of good Black history. I'll have some more for you on, when I come on again. Now next Monday, I will be in Olympia for the legislative day, and I'll see if I have a guest here or not. But anyway, because I think that's important. But Spokane got a rich history too. I mean, Spokane, and then Yakima. Yakima had a black mayor over there, Mr. Beauchamp, the late Mr. Beauchamp. He was a mayor over there. And Spokane also had a Black mayor at one time. Of course, Seattle had a Black mayor. First was Norm Rice, and now Bruce Harrell. And Sam Smith was the first Black city council person. And I think George Fleming, or if not, that might have been Sam Smith, was the first African American that was elected down in Olympia. So Washington State has never had not had a large number of Black people, but at one time we were 12% in Western Washington, including King, Pierce, and the other Pierce, and maybe Snohomish County. But that population now has been probably dissipated, and now you have more immigrants from the continent. They came for freedom and safety, and we still fighting for that. But they are here, and they get to count it. But they usually count them as African immigrants, and maybe not as American. I mean, not sometimes they don't call themselves Americans; they still call themselves African immigrants. But they absolutely came from the continent like we did. And just because we've been here over 500 years, don't mean that we're not still African, because the root of our beginning and the basis of who we are is African. So, but I'll have more history for you. I think my next guest is here, so we'll take a little break. Again, and maybe we can hear some more songs that's going to uplift our spirits. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show at 1150 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. I'll be right back.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 11:50 a.m. KKNW. And so I'm going to bring my next guest on. Mrs. Esha Covington. We share lineage together. She's also working there in Jacksonville, civil rights, politics, and to better the lives of people in Jacksonville. So how you doing, Miss Covington? How you doing?
I'm doing great, cuz. Thank you for inviting me on the show today, and thank you for that wonderful, kind introduction.
Oh, well, you're welcome. So, it's always fun having you on. I have a lot of Florida on because that's where my interest, but I do other places in the world. I do. But last week, Francis, I learned last week that your illustrious governor, that Florida has term limits. And so now I understand why the illustrious governor was trying so hard to be president, so he could still have a job. I get that now. I didn't know Florida had term limits, but they do. So, hey. So, yeah, tell me a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. And we're so excited that our governor will not be president.
Well, so am I. So am I. Because we were on the hit list. We the people who've been here since before the Civil War. We have to always say how long we've been here. We've been here before the Civil War. We're not immigrants. We were stolen. And we did not steal ourselves. Yes. So we have illustrious history. Let's start with our family history, because your grandfather, your grandfather actually had something there that he was one of the first in Jacksonville to have. Deke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your great Delia.
My
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Granddaddy was an entrepreneur, and he was a deacon, and owned several businesses. Mm-hmm. And so, as I began to grow up and ask more questions about Granddaddy, my auntie finally had to say they worked for their father, which was unheard of in our time. In the Black community, he was an entrepreneur. And he was a man that could pray.
Wow.
So he could get a prayer too. So, very, very interesting man. And I think a lot of us have followed in his footsteps. Either through the... Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
Either through being entrepreneurs. I know that spirit of entrepreneurship is alive in your sons as well. And also in my family and the prayer. I think that we definitely were gifted with those two from him.
I agree. And Uncle Edward, he used to talk about that he had the service station. He had one of the first, they called them service stations in those days there in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. He demanded respect. He wasn't taking nothing. He's one of those not taking anything from other folks who might want to give him business, So, yeah. Yeah. So, and then I know that you've done a lot of organizing. And then our late Aunt Johnny Will, I think that there's a park named after her there now, a community center. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Grand Park was renamed after Auntie passed, the Johnny W. Walker Park. It's called Johnny Walker Park now. And that was done by former council person Reggie Fullwood at Auntie passing. They renamed that park for her. And the most ironic part is Auntie loved that area. She loved her community. And she fought hard to make sure that the quality of life was better for people in that area. And a lot of them don't even recognize who she is anymore.
Right.
And the center.
No, go ahead.
They don't know the fight and the struggle that went on for that community. And so, due to regentrification, you had a lot of renters move into that area who had no buy-in or no tied to the community, and so they just let it, like most cities, urban cities, they let that area go on to decline. And the new president, she's fighting to try to get some services back up and running for that area. So we're very proud of her, and we're fighting to keep that center, the Johnny Walker Park. We're not going to let them change that name.
Well,
And when you go sit down and you think that the fight's over, it's a new fight.
well, then
So what
that's
they did,
go ahead.
mhm,
That's where we get in
they
trouble at.
outsourced it.
That's right.
Yes. So,
That's
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
we have been programmed to believe that that it's done. I mean, America is a participatory system, and you have to have somebody who dedicated
What?
it, always is at the city council meeting
Of
to
course.
absolutely all the time. And so if you, I hear somebody else's voice, so you might want to just kind of some noise somewhere, but I don't know where that is. I because but we have to always have somebody at the city council meeting all the time, just to keep. You have to keep it. Yeah, it's amazing that we have to keep telling our story over and over again. And I know that you all, well, the whole family lived in Brooklyn, and I know that that's all no longer the way it's been gentrified too. And it's amazing that when people decide that they want to come and take over stuff, I mean, we've been burnt out, and run out off the land ever since after slavery. So this is a continual pattern of making sure that we don't have any place to stay at. Now, I think it's an unwritten rule somewhere. It might be in a vault somewhere. Make sure that the Negro never have housing, because I mean, if you go back to what is it, Rosewood got burned, and then there was another place in Orange County, people got burned out, and so gentrification is just a new way of moving Negroes off the land. And I just think that that's just part of the American plan. And again, we wake up a little bit too late for the American plan, because we think that we get in the door, and we think that we're in the door, but there's another door. I'm going to give you this analogy because I do a book club, and it's called the Marcus Garvey Book Club. And ironically, this book club has been going on for many years, but during COVID, it was on Zoom, and it's still on Zoom. And a lot of African Americans stopped coming. I mean, they didn't want to be on Zoom or whatever. But I had other people to come, and some of those people don't look like us, but they have continued to come every month, and they're willing to read the hard books. We read The Devil in the Grove by Thurgood Marshall down there in Florida during the 50s, the rape case. We read Henrietta Lacks, the cells that they stole from her to be able to create everything we have in the world today around science and health. And now we're reading the Rise and Fall of Marcus Garvey, written by a Jamaican. But one of the ladies in the class, a Caucasian lady, she said she got it. She had the clearest idea. She said, "What happens to black people is they come in one room and they think they're going somewhere, and they try to get out the other door and it's locked, and they're stuck in that one room." And then she had the clearest idea of what happens, and we think that we're going somewhere. Oh, we got in the room, oh yeah, the laws are changing, whatever. And then you get to the next level, and there's a deadbolt the lock on both sides of the room, so you can't get out. And I think that's
Yes,
where people
yes.
get frustrated. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree. I think even working on the lawsuit, where we sued city council for
You want to
voters,
tell the people
under
about
the vote.
you want to tell them what the suit was about?
Well, we sued under the redistricting because they packed all the African American voters into 4 districts. They put all the black people in the same precincts, and they had us all vote in the same area, and they put us all in the same districts. So we sued, and we won. We won, and our attorneys were able to draft another map. The map that he drafted, it wasn't perfect, but it was a new beginning. And what happened was the city council, they were so irate that they were determined they're going to maintain control. It's not a Democratic or Republican thing. It was about the black voters being disenfranchised.
Right.
So they put it was 40. The number is 44% of African Americans that needs to be in a district for us to win. They put 62, an extraordinary high number of voters in those districts. So a friend of mine, she used to always say, you shouldn't vote because your vote don't count. And I said to her, you were right in your own way, but you didn't describe it the right way, because 20% of the vote didn't count. So African Americans stay home. And so they end up, we had a victory in the courts, but out here, it doesn't feel like a victory, because we have a mayor who's a Democrat, a white female, who decided to hold hands with the Republicans. And all the Republicans we just got through whipping, she put them back in power.
Well, see, that's that room. See,
Yeah.
that's the analogy of the remember the book club. That's the analogy. That door is open, and you rush in there, and you think you're getting to the next level, and then the door is locked on the other side. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so
Wow.
we experienced that. We had a lot of frustration because, we were Team Donna. Donna Deegan is our new mayor, first female mayor for Jacksonville. And we spent a lot of time helping Donna get elected. And so we had two powerful positions, African Americans, who helped Donna get elected. One was Pat McCullough. They removed her. She was making $380,000 a year, and they gave her a lesser role as she was initially chief administrator. And so now she makes about $180,000, and they created some name-only position that has no real power. And I think your analogy of being in the room and it locked, I think that is so true, and it's so frustrating being African American, trying to leave legacy wealth,
Right.
trying to provide for a family, and being a first generation female that graduates from college and not have any opportunities, for our children. So I definitely agree with the locked door. We got to kick the door down.
Yeah.
Kick it in. Just don't ask them. Just kick it. Just keep knocking.
But then it's a steel door. I didn't say that part because that's so. But
well, steel is a little hard to break through, but we're gonna figure it out. We always do.
Yeah, and it's our resilience that I think that makes people angry. It's the resilience that we keep at it. Although that 20% is not voting would make a big difference if they did. I mean, because then you absolutely. And I understand why people. I mean, it's full of apathy because you see stuff time. And a lot of people just don't have the fight that the people who came before us did. Like the Johnny Wills and the other people there in Jacksonville who has kept this going. Because nothing in America has been given to us. But I was thinking about with Black History Month, and thinking about all the inventions. Everything that most people use every day is made by Black people. I mean, really. I mean, really and truly. I mean, the GPS in your car, Black lady. Windshield wipers, automatic windshield wipers, just getting in your car. It's part of the refrigerator. I mean, the light bulb. I mean, you go to the hospital and all the things that Black people have done there. Space. You couldn't go to space without Katherine Johnson. And I think that our biggest thing that we have not done is taught history. Because if we taught history on a daily basis, no matter what they're doing in these schools, our children would be inspired. They would inspired to know that nothing that they're telling them is true. Because, it wasn't for the Khotan that's come from the Congo, you wouldn't have a cell phone, even a computer. The chip is over there. So if they fighting in the Congo, they fighting to steal the resources so they don't have to pay for them. So that the Africans, our brothers and sisters won't get the wealth. But it's not too many things you can mention in America today that was not invented by a Black person. Even the satellite, the camera, the lens on that camera that send the pictures back, it was a Black person. I mean, the new technology about your eye surgery, that was a Black person. I mean, it's so, and so I think that's what keeps me going is the history. And I know that's what keep you going too, because the family history is great. Even Uncle Edward was had a mighty big one at one time. One of the best, the largest real estate companies there in Jacksonville at one time before things went south for a lot of folks at that time. But and so the ingenuity is there to keep going. Just to keep going because it's almost trying to like do double dutch. I never could do double dutch. Could you ever do double dutch jumping rope? Could you do that? I never could.
I didn't. I didn't do double dutch.
I couldn't do it either.
Not in our area.
You have to be really focused in order to do that. So yeah, let's take a break and come back, and then we'll finish talking about some things going on in Jacksonville and Florida. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show on 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on air. You know I love radio.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Oh, you're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on there. Thank you for that song, Eric, on Grandma's Hands, because both of us know about Grandma's Hands. You have Grandma's hand from my mother's mother, which was your mother's mother, and I got Grandma's hands from my father's mother in Sanford. But we have a great relationship with grandmothers, don't we?
Yes, loved my grandmothers both. They were my role models, and they spent a lot of time, I didn't know then, developing me and teaching me how to shop properly. Mm-hmm. My grandmother, my father's mother, she used to go garage selling, and she would get the newspaper, and she would make me outline. We would go through the ads, and she would pick the one she wanted to go to, so we would circle them. She drove, and so she was just such a treasure. Now that I understand what she was doing, she was preparing me for the real world.
Yes, for the real world.
Yeah, she was giving me skills that honestly females don't get anymore.
Yes,
sewing, cooking, budgeting, all the things we need to run a household and be successful.
That's right. That's right.
But I wanted to share, Donna Deegan has a READ program here. She's been endorsing this program, and the high school students tutor the elementary students.
Wonderful.
So you pick up the high school students from school. They pay them $15 an hour, which is not bad. And they work from 3 to 6, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then we pick them up, we take them to the school, and we pick the students up and the tutors and take them home. Oh, wow. So this project they've been logging a lot of read hours, of hours where the students are teaching the elementary students how to read. And I'm kind of excited, mostly because our students don't know how to read by third grade. I don't know why. I don't know what the barriers are. And so my students have been sharing feedback with me. Why can't they read? Well, some of them do well, but then they don't comprehend. And so we've got a lot of work to do at home. We can't all run off.
That's right. We
got to do this work. We got to stay around the table.
That's right.
And we got to do this work at home.
That's right.
I can say Grandma read books, Grandma read newspapers.
Right.
Both of my grandmothers I talked about. And we've got to stop promoting TVs and videos.
That's right. Because it's stealing the children's mind. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
Stimulate those children with reading, reading out loud to us, and we've got to do the work for us, and it will work for them.
It will work for them too, because that's right. And they get past the social engineering, believing that they're not smart, because somehow the people have taken on this idea that we're not smart, we can't learn. And I mean, history tells us that's a lie. That's why we have in history, But now, who pays for this program? Is this a city program or a privately funded program?
This is a nonprofit.
Oh, a nonprofit. Okay.
And it's a 501c3.
And it's called the
And
READ
it started
program.
Read,
Yeah, I'm
read.
gonna look it up. Okay, okay. I like that
And
idea. I like that
right,
idea because
right.
you got the teenagers there, and you got. Oh, I like that because if they don't go to first grade reading and they can't read by the third grade, they're gonna be in special ed.
Correct,
And
correct.
it's a game. It's no reason
Hmm.
why. And I used when I had programs going into people's homes, I would say, hey, you know what? Why not turn Wednesday night Bible study into Wednesday night reading study? If you sometimes you're taking the
Correct.
kids with you, why don't you just have them over there? Just somebody helping them learn to read. Since you're taking them to church all the time, let them learn how to read. And if they read the Old Testament, they learn because they got some hard words in the Old Testament. So
I love that idea.
yeah,
Yes.
and because I know if you're reading and learning to comprehend, and then learning to write a paragraph what you read.
Hmm.
See, because writing a paragraph about what you read will absolutely have it to stay with you. But also, they need a paper in their hand because reading, trying to learn on the computer is not the same. Your fingers help light up little places in your brain. I mean, when you're touching stuff, you have all those synapses. And now, these people who are making all this tough technology is saying children on the floor should not have tablets, but people give it to them to keep them quiet.
Yes.
And it's taking away their brain function. See, and it's amazing that the people who create this technology only let their kids be on there for 15 minutes a day, but they sell it to you. I mean, isn't that amazing? Won't that
That's
America?
amazing. That is, and it's so sad because it shouldn't be a babysitter. Your child shouldn't be on there that long,
That's
and
right.
they've taken that and made it a babysitter because the child is quiet. But what's going on in the brain is the most
That's right.
important part.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
we've
Yeah.
got to take control of that and be more responsible. Dad, even when my father would come to visit, he would go to the get newspapers. But he didn't just get a local one. He got Washington. He got New York. I mean, and he made us read them to him. So he didn't just take the teacher's word. We got to stop putting everything on some other
Oh
people.
no, that's true because we're the they that has to teach our children. Because people tell me they didn't teach us. No, we're the they. I mean, how can we expect
We
people
are the
who kept us in bondage to be willing to teach us everything? I mean, of course, my generation
right.
we didn't come out of that. We came out of learning and was taught and how to read and how to do this stuff. So and all of that. So anyway, it's I'm hopeful because I know that we're a people who sometimes go to school, but we go to school the first day to get the syllabus, come back the last day of the semester, pass the test, and make an A. I mean, we're the last,
Yes,
we're the people who show up 1 minute before midnight and get an A because we're just that brilliant. We absolutely just I mean because
that is true.
I have a son
Yeah.
that went to. He only went twice. He went there, and they changed the rules at the community college because he was so brilliant. I mean, but he would show up and then he'd make an A. He passed everything. I mean, and that's the kind of brilliance that we have, and we know how to bring it. Sometimes we have to have a little pressure on us to bring it. Now, but once the pressure
That's
comes,
right.
see, this is the longest we've been in
That's right.
America that we haven't had that other kind of pressure, and these other folks want to bring it back. They want to bring back that other kind of pressure. But we are absolutely brilliant people. We will write that turn paper 1 minute before, and we'll pass it in 1 minute before midnight, and we will make an A. And that's
That's
just
so true.
that's just the truth of who we are. And so
That is so true.
our goal is to evolve before we want to have that term paper already done, at least by 11:45, so we can just coast on in there
Yeah.
and gave it in there and not have no stress on us. So we just ace that A, because that's the brilliancy of who we are. Look at Simone Biles, the young gymnast. How she can, that's just an example of the brilliance,
Yes.
and it's coming to bear here. I mean, it really is, and like you're brilliant. All the work you're doing, and all the people that you're touching there in Jacksonville with Lorraine and everything, and we'll be talking here about a chapter down there of mothers, and I'm just so proud of you standing up because that's what it takes. I mean, we're not cowardice people. We're not going to go hide in the corner And we're not going back anywhere because we've been here longer than the people who tell us to go back somewhere. And we have
Yes.
we
Thank
have
you.
been we've been here, and that's the
Yes.
beauty of this history. That's the beauty of Black history. It's like, I mean, so every day is Black history. I'm just jazzed. I'm jazzed about the music that we gave the world, the recipes that we gave the world. And I didn't watch the Super Bowl last night, but I hear that was good. I mean, I know you had a party down there, so party down. And I moved on from, I call it foosball now. I don't care who wins, but anyway, yeah. So this has been wonderful. This has been wonderful having you on there and talking about Jacksonville and what's ahead of you and what's behind you, and we'll keep talking about that park because we want to keep that park going and bring the resources there back to that area because
Well,
we
thank
deserve it.
you.
Okay, so we'll be talking about that offline on some organizing
Oh,
strategies. Okay. All
okay.
right.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. Have a
Well,
great day.
you too. Thank you for being my guest. You've been listening to the Mother's Justice Show on
Hmm.
11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host from Walden. Have a great week. Holiday Monday is next Monday. Thank you so much.